Hello. So in today's video, I picked, I think it's a smidgen over 40 items that have sold since the beginning of May. And I tried to pick like just a spew of various items, and I'm going to give you the reason why I bought these items, the reason why these items, were more popular and why they sold, and just kind of give you the rundown of how much we paid, what it sold for, and what our profit ended up being. Oh, and if you're new here, hi, my name's Julie. With the help of my husband Justin, we're full-time resellers. All right, so let's jump into the sales. I moved my camera over so I can put the picture here. I prefer to do it where I show you the whole thing on the screen, but to be honest, my laptop is struggling and I really don't want to buy a new one because the only thing it's struggling on doing is when I try to open 10 million tabs to do a what sold YouTube video. So we're gonna have to go back and do it the older style, the way I used to do it, which is possibly a little bit more time consuming for me, but it is what it is because I'm not gonna go out and drop hundreds of dollars on a laptop all so that I can make one kind like style of video. It just doesn't make sense and it doesn't follow along with my name, which is Mrs. Frugal. So the first item we're gonna go over is this really pretty Umgee. It was like a silky satin blouse. Umgee is a brand that I have a love-hate relationship with. I watch tons of reselling content, and one of the ones that I learned so much from is McThriftsies. She's a Poshmark only reseller, and she does only clothing. And I have been watching her for a couple years now, and she has just taught me so much about various brands. And she loves Umgee, but I have picked up numerous pieces, and they just sat forever. So this piece did decently though. It was really like pretty kind of like tropical print, definitely more summery. So it sold for $25. We picked it up on 99-cent day and we made a $19.66 profit. This next item is this model car. Justin purchased this at the bins and it was already built, the model car, and painted, but it had a crappy paint job on it. I think a 3-year-old painted it. But he still felt there was some value in it. So he bought it. He paid 90 cents for it. It ended up selling probably within an hour of him listing it for $29.99. And we made a super fast $21.84 profit. So I guess, that just shows that it doesn't always have to be perfect for an item to sell. The only weights I'm going to go over in this video is this pair of 22-pound Sunsport weights. They were big 22-pounders. So we sell 25-pounders all the time, but these were extra wide. They were like more of a thinner, wider plate, so they ended up having to go through UPS. We could not fit them in one of the flat rate boxes. So as I said, they sold for $99.99. We paid $13.20 for them, and we made a $63.18 profit. This very pretty Wallace silver plated, it was like a wind-up musical carousel. This came from the free church pickup that we did almost like exactly a month ago. It sold for $34.99, so I think that's the most expensive item I've sold from the free stuff on eBay. That's like the most expensive one I sold on eBay. I sold like some lots on Facebook Marketplace, but that's eBay's most expensive one. And we made a $28.26 profit on it. This flax linen top sold so quickly. I purchased 2 flax pieces at the bins. I was so excited when I found them, and they were both very like lagging look, like just if I was to just see them and not know the flax was a good brand, I would have been like, these are really like old looking pieces, vintage, but not cool. But they sold so fast, both of them. This one sold for $32. We only paid 64 cents because they're these lightweight linen shirts. And we made a $26.08 profit. So even though it's not my aesthetic, like my style, I will pick them up every single time I find flax. This was a link sole, which I have never heard of. It was like a hooded Henley. We found it at the bin, so by weight we paid $1.44. It sold really fast for $39, and we made a $31.61 profit. So I thought I'd share that with you because maybe you've never heard of the brand either, but was definitely a good pickup and a fast sale. This next item was an experiment. So I talked about many videos ago, we're trying to dip our toe more into men's clothing. We primarily have done women's just because that's what's most available to us. We do a lot of our sourcing on 99-cent day at the Salvation Army, Goodwill, and St. Vincent. Ours each have one day a week where there's one color that's 99 cents. And they just don't have much in the men's section. So we've been primarily doing women's, but I was trying to branch out. Plus, I hear so many people say you get less returns with men's clothes because men aren't as picky and maybe are a little lazier than women, and they don't really return stuff even if it doesn't fit. Sorry. But so I had done some research, and we saw that Polo Ralph Lauren Hampton style pants / jeans did well. So we were at a regular regular day at Goodwill where things weren't necessarily on sale, and I found a pair for $7.99. So I decided to grab it and see. So they did sell for $32.99, but we only made a $15.50 profit since I paid up for them. So I would definitely consider getting them again, especially if I could pick them up at the bins, because at the bins they would probably be like $2.50-ish. I don't know if I would always grab them for $7.99, but it was a good experiment, and I like seeing, how it went. All right, this Juno shirt was a interesting find. It was from the movie Juno, which I personally absolutely love. And it was a very rare shirt. There wasn't much listed. I think maybe we found one sold of a different style, but it has sat for a long time. So finally, a $29.24 offer. I don't know if I sent it, they sent it, whatever. I gladly accepted it. We only had a dollar into it, and we made a $19.99 profit. Justin grabbed these Asics. You'll see the word, it starts with an O. I didn't write it down and I can't remember what it is, but Tiger, it's a certain kind of Asics shoes. I've sold numerous pairs of these before. He bought them at the bins for $2.22. They sold so fast for $43, and we made a $31.04 profit. The Skechers men's slip-on wide width shoes. When we first started reselling, I avoided Skechers. To me, they were just cheaper shoes, but I was remembering them from my youth. Then I actually went to DSW and looked, and Skechers were priced the same as Brooks. I was totally and completely shocked. The prices of Skechers have gone up so much. So we now definitely look at all Skechers as long as they're in good condition. These were a great steal. They were wide width slip-on men's, a great style. I only paid $1 for them at a church sale where they just marked all shoes $1. They sold for $31.49, and we made a $25.35 profit. If you've watched some of my previous videos, I bought a huge lot of Fallsgraf Yorktown dishes for $50 off of Facebook Marketplace. It's a video where I talk about being scammed because, long story short, the woman put a bunch of pictures up, but she then sold other pieces and didn't change the pictures. So I thought I was getting everything in the pictures. I ended up getting less, but still, we're well into the profit on it. And I sold these 2 batter bowls plus a little soap dish for $60. I allotted $10 to the cost of it, and we made a $40.18 profit. But here's a crazy one. So I get a message from the woman while Justin and I are away on our anniversary trip last week, and she says, "Your pack job was absolutely amazing on these bowls." So I had layered them with cardboard, bubble wrapped all over them, and then I had this thick, I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of like the packing material made out of recycled fabric, and then it's wrapped in cardboard, and I encased it completely in that and then bubble wrapped around it and put it in a box. And she was like, "Your pack job was amazing." She's like, "But I literally watched my mail lady hold it waist level and drop it on my concrete porch." She's like, "And I heard it crack." And she's like, "And this is not the first time she has done this." I apologize. I, of course, offer her a refund, ask her to send pictures, and she insisted not. She said, "I am calling the postmaster tomorrow, and I will be getting a refund." She's like, "I've had this problem before, and he took care of it." She's like, "This is not your fault. You did an amazing packing job." It was so refreshing to have someone be on my side for once. So I felt really bad. She felt so sad. They were really nice bowls. And, I was shocked to have someone be so on my side. And I mean, I guess she got her money back because I haven't heard back from her again. So I made a $40.18 profit. It's a bummer. Her soap dish was perfectly fine, but her bowls, one just had a small like chip out of it, and the other one like completely was totally crushed. All right, on to the next item. This vintage Porky Pig shirt we grabbed at the bins. It wasn't in the best condition, but you know, it was single stitch. It was an older shirt, and we only paid 84 cents for it. Ended up selling on an offer for $20, and we made a $14.91 profit. But anytime we find like old vintage shirts, you know, single stitch shirts, as long as what's on the shirt like is good, you know, like a popular, like you'll find a single stitch shirt, say for like a local car dealership, chances are that's not going to sell for much. As long as it has like a popular thing on the front, you're good. And obviously Looney Tunes and Porky Pig is pretty popular. So that's why we grabbed that. I have to read my writing to see how to pronounce this. Manfrotto. I could be saying it wrong because yeah, reading my own writing is scary sometimes. A tripod. We found a tripod at the bins. It was in excellent condition. It was a really nice tripod. I was tempted to keep it for myself. The tripod I use here, Justin got out of someone's trash. And though it works perfectly fine, this one was really nice. It was so heavyweight. So we paid $6.48 for it at the bins because it weighed a lot. But it ended up selling for $85, and we made a $63.11 profit on it. So I could buy like 5 really cheap tripods if I wanted with that money. All right, up next is this Pfister. It was a 3-piece bath set. Like it was like a towel rack. Was it a towel rack and a toilet paper and a hook? I don't remember. 3 hanging thingies for your bathroom. This came from the free church sale that we picked up items last August. I did not list it forever. It just got put on top of a weird shelf and sat there forever and ever and ever. And finally, maybe like a month and a half ago, I was like, why are you not listing this, Julie? Listed it, sold for $26.99, and since we had nothing into it, we made a $17.56 profit. So look around the room. If there's that item you've been avoiding listing forever, list it, because chances are it'll sell. All right, this was a great sale. These Nike PG2 Mamba tennis shoes, I don't know what, you'll see all the words on the screen. So we were at Goodwill on a normal, 99-cent day, which, I mean, Justin stops into Goodwill numerous times during the week just to see if they have anything else. But 99-cent day is when we pretty much always go. And they were just bringing a cart out, and Justin snagged these Nikes. They had them slightly priced up at $13.99, but he felt like he did quick research on it and felt they were pretty good and then passed them on to me. I looked them up and was like, sure, we'll take a chance on them. They ended up selling for $139.99. I just got the notification today that they passed through the authentication program, so now they're being shipped off to the buyer. So even with the higher buy cost, we made a $100.62 profit. So it's always nice when you can buy something for full price at the Goodwill and still make a $100 profit. I talked about this in the last video, but I couldn't not bring it up in case you missed it. But I sold the Ming silk caftan that I found at the bin. Well, Justin actually found it at the bins. We think. He says he's not sure, but I don't remember pulling out of the bin. So I really think he found it. Gorgeous, 100% silk. Retailed for over $1,000. Ended up, I accepted an offer of $200 for it because it was going through the international shipping program. If you're not familiar with the international shipping program, I highly recommend signing up for it. You're only responsible for sending the item to eBay's hub. I think there's one in Illinois and there's one maybe California area. Once it gets there, eBay takes over all the responsibility. If the customer's unhappy with it, if it's broken, if they want to return it, eBay handles the rest. You get your money. Like if they leave negative feedback, I do believe eBay handles all of that too. So even though I possibly could have gotten a little bit more for this, the thought that they couldn't return it and it was a sure thing sale was more than enough to get me to accept it. And we made $160.88 profit. Another item that is like a staple for me is Calvin Klein dresses. I think maybe you would describe them as like the scuba knit almost feeling. it's like their career dresses. I find them a lot on 99-cent day. People just don't seem to pick them up. I don't know why. They can sell anywhere from $20 to, in the mid 30s. But when I'm only paying 99 cents, I grab it. So this one sold for $32.99 and we made a $25 profit on it. Up next is this vintage LL Bean wool sweater. This was grabbed at the bins for $2.02. It was made in the USA. Like, you have to look at LL Bean and see, because there's some made in the USA. Then I think it moved to Hong Kong before it moved to China or wherever mass-produced clothing is made. But that's how you could tell how old it is. And there is a style code on the tag, like the size tag of every LL Bean item. And most of the time you can just put that right into eBay and it will pull up, the exact ones that are listed, and then you can switch over to sold so you can get good comps on it. But it sold for $32.50 and we made a $22.67 profit. These Zara sneakers were a 99-cent day grab. They were new with tags. They sold for $32.99 and we made a $21.39 profit. Up next, this is an international sale. These are just Nike jogger like sweatpants. They sold for $24.99. I grabbed them on 99-cent day and we made a $19.78 profit. I just wanted to bring these up. I just always avoided black, basic looking various Nike joggers. And just like LL Bean, Nike has a code underneath all of the material tags that you can put in to look an item up. So I started just looking at a lot of their basic joggers, ones that I would pick up at 99-cent day or at the bins for $1.50. And a lot of them actually sell well. I mean, and this was a size small. So to make a $19.78 profit on it is awesome. This is, up next is a Villaware pizzelle maker. I do believe I talked about this in a video. I probably went on a rant about it. I sold this pizzelle maker to a woman, and she sent me a message all on how she felt so bad, but she needed to return it because the handle was loose and it baked unevenly. And her son said it was rude of her to return it because I'm a small business owner, but she doesn't know what to do. I was completely dumbfounded because the handle was not loose as far as I knew. So I eventually get it back. And of course I have to pay for it to get it back because she says it's defective. And when I get it back, I realize she never even unwrapped it. It was still in its perfectly pristine, like how I fold my corners on the bubble wrap. I was so ticked off. So I did not refund her initial shipping, and I wrote her a message saying, I am well aware that you did not use this item. A, the handle was not loose, and B, it's still wrapped in the original package. Clearly you found it cheaper somewhere else and you just didn't want to keep it and you were trying to scam me. So that was very annoying. So I ended up being out $8 and I think 20 cents from the start on this pizzelle maker because I lost it when the very, very dishonest person returned it. But it sold for a second time for full price of $49.99. And the good news is, was this karma? Was it when I bought this at the Goodwill? I did not know until long after I got home at the outlet, but they forgot to charge me for it. I told them I had it. I put it on the counter, but I had a new cashier and she didn't put it in. So I didn't have a buy cost on it. So I guess that kind of makes up for the money that I lost. So $36.86 profit was the moral to that long rambling story. All right, next is this Peter Millar Summer Comfort Polo. I've been dipping my toes into the whole Peter Millar. Some people swear by it. I feel like you don't make that much money on it, so you really got to source it low. This was picked up at the bins for 90 cents, sold for $19.99, and we made a $14.44 profit. I've bought some other pieces of the Summer Comfort line, like button-down shirts. They seem to sell for the $14 to $20 range. So as long as you're sourcing them at the bins or on a 99-cent day, I guess it's worth it. All right, on to page 2. Up next is this Catherine Suprema 2X top. I bought this top because it's a plus size and it was new with tags. And there was 2 of the identical top at the thrift store on 99-cent day next to each other. Both were new with tags. Both were the same size. So I only had to make one listing and put 2 quantity on it. So absolutely love that. Sold for $19.99 and I made a $14.41 profit. These gorgeous Doc Martin Triumph boots. Try that again. Boots. They were, you know, like mid-calf brown leather boots, but then you could fold them down and they had a floral pattern on them. So pretty. Prices were anywhere from like the 60s to like up into the like low hundreds. I listed them for I think a little over 100. You'll probably see what the actual listing price was on the screen. When we were away on our trip, someone sent me an $80 offer and I was just like, you know what, I'm taking it. We only paid $5.60 for them by weight and we made a $62.54 profit. And I'm glad that they moved fast. This next one wasn't a big sale, but it was an interesting sale. So when I bought the Yorktown Fallscraft dishes, it came with 3 little magnets, and 2 of them had been completely broken and glued back together again. Obviously, you guys know, when you open your fridge, sometimes magnets fall off. There was only one that was in perfect condition, the oval one. They were all different shapes. And I couldn't believe when I looked it up how much one little magnet was selling for. So I ended up selling this tiny little magnet for $16, and we made an $11.74 profit on it. So that was just a funny little sale that still brought a decent amount of money. This is another full price picked up at the Goodwill item. It's a Polo Ralph Lauren like hooded sweatshirt, but as you can see, it has the big pony on one side, and big pony normally equals big money, and the crest on the other side. So it was a win-win. Justin went to donate stuff like on a Saturday evening and found this. I think they had just put it out. They were filling the racks. He paid $7. Did I say that already? I don't know. He paid $7.99 for it. I listed it and I kept getting like $20 offers on it. And I was like, are you kidding me? Ended up selling for $54.99 and we made a $35.74 profit. Another more vintage style t-shirt. It's funny because I found 2 Darkwing Duck t-shirts at 2 different places. One was at the bins and this one was purchased at like a flea market at a local college. But we found them right like near each other, and I was like, okay, that's an odd shirt to find, 2 different Darkwing Duck shirts. That's from like DuckTales. This we paid up for it. We paid $5 at the sale because they had a rack of vintage shirts, but it's over $44.99. We made a $29.98 profit. I was going to show you this Eddie Bauer women's shirt. This was new with tags. This is like the fishing, like the vented in the back style shirt. We do really well with those in men's and women's. I got this at an estate sale for $1. I probably could have held out for more. I think I had it listed for like $29.99, $28.99. Someone sent me a $20 offer and I was just in the mood to move things. So we made a $14.13 profit, but definitely if you find a piece of like the PFG, it's marked, fishing things, look it up and see because most of them are worth picking up if you get them cheap enough. This JM collection shirt, low price sale, but I'm showing it to you to discuss flawed items. I bought this JM collection shirt because it was 100% linen and it was white, or so I thought, and it had like pink like embroidery on it. What I didn't realize till I got it home and under the photography lights is that the pink embroidery had bled. I tried to wash it and see if I could get it out. I soaked it and I couldn't. And there was even marks on it where you could tell like the sleeve leaned up against the embroidery and it left marks on it. So I purchased it on 99-cent day, so I didn't have much into it. So I was like, you know what? I just want to try to move this shirt and recoup some of my money. So I put it up for only $10, listing that it was flawed, and it sold. And I still made a $6.86 profit. So just because something's flawed doesn't mean it's a total loss. Just price it cheap. And most of the time you'll move it pretty quickly. All right, this Jerry Sherman silk vintage blouse was found at the bins. We only paid 50 cents by weight for it. It's not a brand I had ever heard of, but when something is 100% silk, definitely take a look at it. We ended up selling it for $30 and we made a $24.53 profit. Johnny Was, if you've seen some of my older videos or follow me on Instagram, you know I was so excited when I found this. Not because I was like, this is going to be such a high dollar item. It's just that I see so many resellers talk about Johnny Was and I had never found it anywhere. Not even like high priced at a place. I had never physically seen Johnny Was. And then I found it at the Goodwill bins in a bin that had been out, I think since the day before that. Like it was just sitting there. It was a size small and it was like a zip jacket. It wasn't like one of their like boho styles that brings lots of money, but I was still thrilled. I only paid 98 cents for it. And when someone sent me a $40 offer last week, I was like sold. And we made a $33.76 profit. And to the lady on Instagram that told me I would be sitting on it forever, because she said she had Johnny Was and it does not sell, you were wrong. I didn't sit on it forever. You just have to be reasonable with how much you sell it for. All right, more of the Yorktown. I wanted to point out these pieces. These are fruit bowls, so they're smaller than the basic cereal bowls. They were only like 4.5 inches, little fruit bowls. I only had 3 because there was a couple more, but they were like chipped and cracked. So I just put a set of 3 up, but they sold for $29.99. I think those are just a harder to find item. And I assigned a $4 buy cost to them, and we made a $16.95 profit. Another vintage t-shirt. It's funny because I feel like we don't find that many vintage t-shirts, but all of them sold in this like few weeks time. But this was a vintage 90s Dale Earnhardt NASCAR t-shirt. We grabbed it at the bins for 89 cents and it sold for $42.55, and we made a $32.01 profit. This Zimmerli, I don't know. Wool sweater. It was a wool sweater made in Italy. So of course that makes you stop and look at it. I had it listed for way higher, but obviously we're not in sweater season. So when I received a $28 offer with only a $1.35 buy cost, I accepted and we made a $21.79 profit. These Nike shorts grabbed my attention because of the bright yellow color. I don't look at a lot of Nike shorts. I mean, maybe I should. I don't know. But these just seemed special to me because how often do you see bright yellow running shorts? So when I looked them up, they seemed to do decently. And sure enough, we sold them for $22.49. We only paid 84 cents, and we made a $15.80 profit. These big Yank boxers, yes, that's the name, big Yank boxers, I bought at that same college flea market that I talked about. I bought 8 packages of these boxers. Each package has like 2 pairs in them. I think half were mediums and half were XLs. They were like different prints, but they were like vintage. I do believe they were from the 90s. They had a date on them. I checked and made sure, like I reached into the package to make sure that they didn't do the crunch when you pulled the elastic, and they were still fine. So they were $1 a package. So I bought all 8 packages for $8. And I think this is my 5th one to sell. It sold for $24.99. As I said, I paid $1. We made a $16.71 package. So definitely don't overlook like packaged like underwear or t-shirts, you know, especially of the vintage variety. This Chinese vase, that the detail on it has a special word that starts with a C that I don't remember offhand and I wouldn't know how to pronounce anyway. So you'll see it on the screen. This also came from the latest free church pickup sale. I was debating on listing it. It kind of just seemed like the kind of thing that you buy at a gift shop, but it sold for $24.99 and we made a $19.45 profit. Sorry, I'm losing the light. It's in the evening, so. And the sun is starting to set, so if I'm getting darker, that's why. But I'm almost done. All right, Kokomo. Months and months ago, you might remember, I went to the bins and someone donated almost 50 Kokomo brand plus size shirts. I had never picked the brand up. I hadn't even heard of it. But they were all kind of like like the liquid knit Susan Graver material. And they were all 2 or 3X. So no one else seemed to want them. I stacked them all in my cart and decided to buy them all. We have made hundreds of dollars on the lot. I ended up paying $1.45 was my average buy cost for all of them. Most of them sold for closer to $25. I don't have that many left now, so I've been accepting offers. This one sold for $19.54 and we made a $12.65 profit. But if you see Kokomo in plus size, they do sell really well. All right, we have some vintage Lee plus size jeans. Lee is not a brand of jeans that I normally pick up, but these were definitely like 80s, 90s style. They still had the tags on them and they were a plus size. So when I saw them a 99-cent day, I was like, we'll give it a try. Sold for $26.09 and we made a $20.70 profit. This next item we have had forever. And I was really surprised because they were so cool. I remember when I showed them in a video, everybody was freaking out on how cool they were. They're Wilson, and they had leather sides on them. They're like welding, like not welding, maybe like just like eye protection goggles, but vintage ones where the protection, the sides were made out of leather. They came in the original metal case. Just so cool. We only paid 45 cents for them at the bins. I had listed them, I think, originally for like $69.99. I've been reducing the price over time, and they finally sold for $31.99, and we made a $25.57 profit. These Under Armour Steph Curry shoes were Sesame Street. Like, they had the count on the inside and kind of Sesame Street print on it. I have no idea. They were very interesting. I paid only $1 at that church sale, the same one I got the Skechers from. There wasn't, I don't even know if there was any sold, and some that were listed for so high priced. So I listed mine not as high as most, but I think maybe like 79 or 89. You'll see it on the screen. So when someone sent me a $45 offer and I only had $1 into them, I was thrilled, and we made a $26.48 profit. Another Falls Graph Yorktown. This is the measuring cups that are, like stoneware, ceramic measuring cups. The set sold for $24.99, or no, $21.99. Hard to read my own writing. We made a $14.21 profit on those. And the last item we're going to discuss is this SL Fashions dress. And I only put this on the list just as a reminder that you can thrift stuff, get use out of it, and then make your money back on it. So I bought this dress for $4 at a thrift store almost a year ago, I guess, about a year ago, to wear to FlipCon last year. They were having an 80s night, and I wore this dress that had Golden Girl vibes to it. So I kept it in my closet for a while, and then I was like, I should just sell this. Obviously, I'm never going to wear it again. So I listed it, and it sold for $16. So I got the dress, I got to wear it to FlipCon, and I still made an $8.09 profit. So that is one of the many joys of reselling. If you need something for a short period of time, buy it, wear it, sell it. You want to rotate your wardrobe out, you're not someone that likes to wear the same clothes over and over again, buy it, thrift it, sell it, make your money back. I mean, it's so easy, and it's fun to see something that you got use out of and then still made a profit on. All right, so that's everything. I hope you found some new brands to look out for. I mean, I know that's why I watch YouTube videos, is to educate myself, because, there's always something new out there that I have no idea is worth something. And it's kind of funny how you might never see something, and then you see it in a YouTube video, and then the next time you go out to a store, you find the brand, and it's super exciting. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.